Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, a joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
We were just discussing as we go live for Duck Insider. It's Athletic Director Tuesday with Rob Mullens.
Let's go.
Nothing going on. There's nothing to talk about with the Duck AD. I feel like we have yet to have a day where I get to the end of our interview and I'm like, well, Rob, we got nothing left. It's usually like, there's a few more things we could cover, but Rob's a busy guy and he's got a meeting to get to at 1:30, and that's a good thing, isn't it?
That is a really good thing, especially deep in the spring.
That's right. That's right. Okay, on that note, since we last spoke on Duck Insider, all the other regionals have come to a close. We knew the Ducks were going to Super Regionals in Texas. We didn't know when. Now we do. Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific time on ESPN, Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific time on ESPN, Sunday at 6 o'clock Pacific time on ESPN, and then Monday is to be determined. See, here I was even getting ahead of myself thinking, well, the Ducks might play on a day as early as Friday, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday to be determined. Super Regionals, there's nothing like it.
Prime time.
Prime time TV.
That's, two big brands. Obviously, the ratings for softball, so college softball and college baseball just continue to grow. And, they put those right in prime time.
They really did. And I realize a lot of folks have asked, like, well, why not start it Friday? How come they don't play every series on Friday? I've had a couple fans ask me that, and some of it is seriously to stagger so that there's a larger viewing audience.
Yeah, it's the, TV windows and, the build-up. You saw the coverage on the regionals and, even the emotion of last night as the games were wrapping up. And, ESPN really wants to capture all that and get as many of those on as they can.
That's right. We will have a pregame show 15 minutes before each game, including every comment from Mark Wazikowski. He had a lot of comments on the crowd this weekend, Rob. We'll cover that. We're going to go through a lot of different subjects. It's the final time that Athletic Director Rob Mullens is on this academic year with graduation approaching, our summer break on Duck Insider. Then we'll be back before you know it for football camp. So a lot to get to with Rob. Also, Rob, today is a little bit of an emotional day. I did not warn you about this. Our broadcast intern extraordinaire, Saul Galvan, making his final Duck Insider appearance today.
Graduating.
Big day. 2 years calling Oregon softball, running KWVA. Today's the last day on the show.
There we go. Well done. 4, 5, 6 years worth of great learning.
That's right.
He's taking full advantage of it
has.
on the softball calls, and he's all in.
He is.
He's Goose to your Maverick?
I think he's Maverick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's Maverick.
All right.
That's how it needs to be.
There we go.
There's probably a
very bright future for that
young man. That's right, very bright future, exactly. And there's probably a Maverick sequel, like Top Gun Maverick sequel joke that I could get here somewhere, but we understand. You're Maverick. You're going to go off. You're going to do great. We've got more of that coming up. But it is, as you get toward the end of the year, you want to have baseball, softball, track and field still going on. We'll cover all of that. And, man, the fans at PK Park were just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Obviously, unique draw with some former conference foes, proximity, large alumni bases in the area. But kudos to the fans. Last time we were on here, we were talking about the impact that fans can have, whether it be at the Jane or at PK Park or Autzen or MKA or wherever. But, boy, did they come strong. And really, I know Coach Waz referenced it several times, gave us that home field advantage. And, you heard certainly the pitchers, Will and Miles, talk about it. I know Drew Smith has, said some comments about what your last game at PK to be in that kind of atmosphere. They were lined up on the concourse. They were hitting the Hop Valley stand.
That's right.
The fans were goosed up and made an incredible impact on the game.
Well, I'll tell you, too, it was something special for me to hear Ryan Cooney and Maddox Maloney just today, Rob. So that's coming up later on the show. We just did some interviews with Oregon baseball about an hour ago. And both Maddox Maloney and Ryan Cooney, of course, asked the question, right? You beat Oregon State to win a regional. And certainly there's some emotion that comes with that. But what they both said in response was, but look at how much green was in the stands.
Right.
And that's really special to see the growth of this program. Over 25,000 fans across the regional were at PK Park.
No, and the fans made a huge difference. The execution to be able to pull that off over 3 days, that's working around the clock from a couple of days before when the teams get here and start practicing all the way through. Our staff did a phenomenal job. Again, fans, huge impact. The green, the students were out in full force. We are fortunate in some ways when we're still in class, and that was one of them.
That's right.
Because the students were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, making a big impact.
Shameless plug, Saul Galvan was leading the chants.
Oh, attaboy.
Yeah.
Way to go.
He wasn't working. He got to enjoy his last Oregon Athletics event before track and field as a fan.
Fantastic.
That's what you like to hear.
No doubt.
There are a lot of people.
Perfect weather. Great game times, compelling games, and just winning plays.
When you talk about the modern era of Oregon baseball, too, right? As the sport and the program has continued to grow and expand and college athletics is shifting, I really feel that we're not going to know the impact of a regional performance and environment like this until maybe a few years later. You talk about season tickets and national media attention, all the things.
No, I mean, because whether you're just walking around the ballpark each of those nights and even the buzz yesterday after talking to people. And, listen, you cannot recreate postseason baseball every weekend.
Right.
Right. But that's one of the things that makes postseason baseball and softball so much fun is it literally is every pitch makes the difference. And then to have, look for you. I mean, you had a great call on Junior's home run. For that to present that moment there, there was just in the way Will was dealing. I mean, I was up walking around and everybody was keeping a strikeout count. What's he up to now? What's he up to now?
Right.
The buzz was just fun.
Well, and to think, too, about there's a lot of big-time names now. Like Robert Alstrom just got the call to the big leagues. You see that?
Yeah, Riku recently.
Riku Nishida recently. So there's some modern names now, and David Peterson's one of them. Well, Will Sanford broke a record that was set by David Peterson. I mean, I think that's where you start to look at the success of the program, and sometimes that's going to come down to guys that move on and succeed at the next level. There's a legacy now.
There is a legacy, and obviously those guys, the first pitch dinner that Waz has really embraced and taken to an incredible level, and getting those former players back. And then when you look at this roster, like you said, whether it's Ryan Cooney or Maddox Maloney, Drew Smith could have gone pro. And so to have those, and then you mix in these freshmen that are having meaningful roles, and Junior coming back from an injury, you think about Braden and, what Burke does from a leadership standpoint, and Junior, and, it's just they're again, Waz has built an incredible program. It's got a great culture. And, this team has the mix of what you want, of leadership, experience, talent, and, having some of that postseason, opportunity. So they've been through it. So I like our chances.
Me too. And we'll talk about that more coming up. And one thing that I also want to point out in the context of this conversation is I heard from fans. I think the department in general heard from a lot of fans about, hey, getting into the regional and tickets. And I just want to say again, there are benefits to being a season ticket holder. And if you're thinking about it, you saw that environment. Well, season ticket holders were a part of what made that environment so special.
No doubt. I mean, we obviously there's priority for season ticket holders and donors, and all those reserve seats were gone inside the priority window, and then it becomes the general admission seats.
And they went quick.
And
fans.
they did go super fast. When spring game weekend, for example, I mean, ballpark was alive again, and these players really, really appreciate it and feed off of it. And there is no doubt on Sunday that the crowd, led by Saul's cheering,
That's right.
had an impact on that game.
Oh, I said it on the broadcast. Ryan and I both did. sure, give the ball 4 to Robles, but give the ball 4 to the fans.
Yes.
It made a huge impact. And Waz has made it very clear, talking about Super Regionals now, that he felt like the atmosphere at Texas A&M in Super Regionals 2 years ago when the Ducks lost to the Aggies, another Jim Schlossnagle coach team. We'll unpack all that later. He said that made a difference.
Sure.
And now here at PK Park, the Ducks saw the benefits of that.
Yeah, and the benefits 100% in that moment, in that inning, with the tension.
Yeah.
Certainly, the crowd played a huge role. But just think about a player showing up to the ballpark. There's the fan fest that's already started with people enjoying a cold drink and watching other games outside on a big screen TV. Because of people wanting to get situated, the ballpark is full or near full well before first pitch. And you can feel that.
Yeah.
You can feel that.
One thing, too, we talk about this in the context of track and field as well. There's a lot I know that goes into this, and I think I like to, at least on this program, again, inside Duck Athletics, I know there's a lot of staff that make it happen, and it's going to happen at Hayward Field again.
There are, and obviously there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and then you have to execute that plan. And like you said, you don't know if you're hosting until Monday morning.
Right.
You have to execute a ticket plan, get them sold, distributed, available, out. And, the doors are going to open at 10 a.m., 10:30 on Friday. You got to get all the teams here and their hotels and situated. And then you have what you want, 25,000 people over 3 days. How do we take care of those folks? How does ingress and egress work? And for folks that didn't attend, you have to clear the ballpark after every game. So, we're essentially sold out in game 1,
right.
Clear the crowd, back in for game 2. Across the board, way too many people to name, but it takes a small army to execute these kind of events the way that our staff did. And I'm very proud of the work that went into delivering that fan experience, which allows for that student-athlete experience.
All that, Ducks win, go 3-0 in the regional. It's like sweeping a weekend series. Now they go 2-0 in a series, and we're talking about a trip to Omaha. What's next is Saturday at 5 o'clock on ESPN, Sunday at 6 o'clock on ESPN. We don't even want to worry about Monday. We'll be there. Looking forward to bringing you the broadcast on the Oregon Sports Network, televised on ESPN as well for Oregon Baseball Super Regionals. Nothing going on. We've spent 12 minutes talking about one sport. We got a lot more to cover. You ready for a timeout?
Yeah, let's take a little break.
All right, timeout. Track and field championships coming up. Big Ten Triple Crown. Whole bunch of things to cover with Duck Athletic Director Rob Mullens on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in
Duck baseball headed to Super Regionals. It begins on Saturday at 5 o'clock against Texas. Oregon baseball postseason continues. That's where you want to be. Welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. He's Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens in the Country Financial Studio. Talked a little bit about baseball, the importance of hosting. Well, now the importance of hosting some track and field at Hayward Field coming up. Big Ten Triple Crown. Rob, how's that sound?
I love the sound of that. And, that's a big feat because by form chart, there were a few of those.
A little testy.
Yeah, and but again, as Jerry has said, is really proud. One of the fun things about a conference championship meet is, the depth really matters. And our depth came through, and it's fun. I mean, listen, we want to win conference championships because that means we're right in line to do bigger things, which is always the goal.
Yeah, and you win those conference championships. And then remember, in track and field, you go to the West Regionals, try to punch some tickets to return home to Hayward Field, and the Ducks have done just that now, getting ready for, what will be a fun week. Say week-long at Hayward Field.
It is. In fact, I was just talking to the staff this morning. The teams most teams are out of school.
Right.
The packet pickup's on Tuesday, but some teams will start to arrive this weekend. And it's a big operation. When you just look at the number of athletes that compete in this championship, it fills up all the hotel rooms
instantly
in Eugene, Springfield, between the coaches, athletes, trainers, et cetera. So it's a large scale event, and we qualified 30.
Yep. A perfect 15 and 15, by the way. The symmetry.
Yeah.
The symmetry.
Maybe there's a sign there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's and Wednesday and Thursday are big because you got to get through.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, every race matters on Friday and Saturday because it's about points.
And the form charts, points, if you will, like to all of the Hayward faithful that know exactly why that 1 point matters over the course of that Wednesday and Thursday. Let me just take this opportunity to say thank you. We appreciate
no doubt. And Jim Jaquia, I will be coming by your seats at the finish line to check in because you'll have it all penciled out. So I'll at least have a cheat sheet.
Oh, it's so fun. There's nothing like it at Hayward Field, and I hope that everybody around these parts, if you're thinking about, I don't know, go.
Agree 100%. It's a fantastic event. Obviously, the venue, but the energy, track the team is pretty cool. It's throwers cheering for sprinters, cheering for distance runners. It's just it is a lot of fun.
To that point, on that note, Lisa was on with us recently, and she I have determined that Lisa is going to be our like emotional connection to track and field. You understand?
She's lived
why.
it 100%.
She's lived it, and so Lisa told some great stories just about the way that a meet ebbs and flows, right? Like, okay, so this group is now really needing this other group, and track and field, right? And field being multidisciplined, you have so many different impacts, and so I will just say what Lisa said about the regionals and then also the indoor and outdoor track and field championships for Big Ten level. This team, they will follow each other. So if you ever want to just take a moment and you don't know where your eyes should be, just watch where the other Ducks are going.
Well, and, obviously that momentum carried through on championship day at the Big Ten meet.
Right.
Because we needed certain performances in certain events, and they all lifted each other.
Really awesome. Rob Mullens joining us. So track and field coming up, outdoor track and field championships at Hayward Field next week. Tickets are on sale. Visit GoDucks.com. We've talked about baseball. Haven't had you on the show since softball season came to a close, Rob.
Yeah, another great year. Obviously the chance to host a regional, they earned that. It would have been great if we were at our full roster available.
Yeah.
Lindsay's unfortunate health situation at the end had an impact, but obviously another great year. Thanks to those fans again for really filling up the Jane.
Great environment.
Great environment. It shows well on TV. It's so funny whether it's a PK or Jane, when we get to that time of the season, I get so many text messages from friends, former colleagues, donors at other schools that I've worked. They're like, wow, that looks really cool.
That's saying something.
It is saying something because you can just feel it even through the TV, the energy.
Well, okay, then now's a great time for me to get ahead of ourselves and share a story that you're going to hear on Duck Insider tomorrow, okay? So Ryan Milano asked Ryan Cooney about his view at PK Park, right? Second baseman. How does it look different, for example, when it's full of all the green versus maybe earlier in the year, right? And Ryan was like, oh, there's nothing like it. I mean, and that exactly what you're talking about, right?
No, and it's in green and standing. I mean, I was so impressed with the frequency of people being on their feet and bringing the energy. whether it was clapping for a third strike. I mean, it was it was every pitch on Sunday.
Every pitch. A few other sports that I want to hit on, and then I know Rob's got, his actual job to do besides chatting with us. Beach volleyball. Since you were last with us, this is cool. The sand has been poured.
Yes.
We've got sand. Across the street from the Jaqua, part of the Hamilton construction project for that new dorm on campus. Beach volleyball, been a long time coming. I just loved Christian Cold in the vest and the hard hat with his team, seeing that sand go in. They each got a little jar of the sand, Rob. Pretty special.
Pretty special. Obviously we opened the locker room, the beach volleyball locker room at MKA earlier in the year, which was great. But this is the big step, right, of putting the beach volleyball courts right on campus. I mean, right on the front door. Yeah. So what a great opportunity. And I don't know, the Board of Trustees approved today the name.
We got a name.
Duck Dunes.
Duck Dunes is perfect. Bravo. Nothing like a great name with some alliteration.
Absolutely. And, I believe that the sand was from Oregon. So therefore,
it was some from Oregon, some from Nebraska.
Right. There's some truth to the Duck Dunes. So there's a story there. Yeah. And for the student athletes and coaches to be out there, what a cool experience at such a, in a lot of these projects, there's a topping out party, but there's no topping out on a beach. So,
right.
Pouring of the sand was important.
It is important, and you've now been a part of a good amount of these projects, Rob. You think about like the breaking ground and what it means, like. There's a lot that goes into this.
There is a lot that goes into this, and a lot of staff. In fact, Herb Yamanaka and I were reminiscing the 10-year celebration of Jane Sanders Stadium and going back to that. And Duck Dunes will produce those same kind of memories and that same kind of home court advantage for our beach volleyball program, and it's just it's exciting. This, and we'll remember that day.
Oh yeah, I love Duck Dunes. I'm glad that we lined it up. That was totally intentional that Rob came on the show today, that the Board of Trustees approved the name. Duck Dunes, love it. Beach volleyball facility. It's going to go up quick now. Anticipating right around September. Right.
You're ahead of me on that, but yeah, that would be good.
We hope so. Right. For at least, I did ask Coach Cold, and he was like, I just got to tell you, the way at which it comes together and the pace, he was pretty impressed.
Yeah, and he's done. I mean, obviously they're coming off of a record-breaking season of wins. He's building phenomenal culture. There's great leadership from the student athletes on that team. Yeah, exciting times ahead, and it'll be. Walk right from MKA locker room onto their facility right there.
Pretty cool. A few more thoughts for Rob Mullens. Before we look ahead, I do want to take a moment to talk a little bit about the past, because you're part of one of the most, I would argue, one of the most difficult parts of your job is to be on the Hall of Fame selection committee. So, for those that don't understand the way this works, it is very difficult. Every member of the committee brings someone forward they nominate. This is as difficult to do as anything I've ever seen. Jillian Aileen, Liz Brenner, Ifo Ekpreolamu, Sheridan Hawkins, Vin Lanana, and the 2016 Men's Golf NCAA Championship team, all heading into the Oregon Athletics Hall of Fame, the class of 2026. They'll be celebrated formally in the fall, but I know that's a pretty difficult task, but also a special thing.
It is a very difficult task, and thank you to all the volunteers, committee members, chaired by Greg Irwin. So they do the bulk of the work. But yeah, we're in an era now, because you have to be out 10 years to be eligible.
Right.
We're in an era now that is really, really difficult, because you're talking about multinational champions, All-Americans, and so, it is an accomplished group, as you can see by this one. The one thing that I do get to do, which is one of the funnest things in this job, is I get to call and inform the inductees that they've been selected. And it is so much fun to call that class and let them know, because even though they're so accomplished, they're all so humble. Yeah. They are still shocked to get the call.
So awesome. Imagine a lot of excitement, but some tears. It's a whole range of emotion, right? And then they get to all go through it when they're up on stage accepting the awards and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Pretty special.
Yeah, it is so much fun, and I can't wait to celebrate with them in the fall.
Yeah. A few other things that I wanted to touch on as we kind of wrap up the year. A few big events, if I'm searching for any other word than that. First, the Black Student Athlete Summit was here at the University of Oregon, and that came Long time coming. Damone Merkerson, we talked to him. So much work to bring that Big Ten Conference initiative here to the Pacific Northwest, to the University of Oregon campus. And by all accounts, it was a great
Yeah, Dr. Moore, University of Texas, founded the Black Student Athlete Summit several years ago. And it started in Austin, and it's been a few other places. Damone worked with Dr. Moore to bring them to the Pacific Northwest, specifically to Eugene, the University of Oregon campus. And together they worked hard with all of Dr. Moore's staff and a number of different people on the university collaborating to pull that off. But huge success. And what an honor it was for us to host that conference here in Eugene.
Really outstanding. You talk about student-athlete experience off the field. One other thing that occurred recently that we mentioned on the show on Friday, Discover U, part of the network that Oregon football has. I mean, that's just one example of the many things that occur off the field that make this place pretty special.
And it's always an important reminder that as things are changing and there's a lot of focus on transfer portal and NIL and players getting paid, there is still a huge element of student-athlete development happening on our campuses, and we're fortunate in that we have people like Damone and so many others, Usman in football specifically, who really have given their life's work to helping young people develop.
Yeah, really outstanding. To that note, on kind of the celebration aspect that comes, we're in the month of June, graduation approaching. The O Show is tonight. So imagine like the Oscars, ESPYs style.
Sure.
But it's also hosted by student athletes, which makes this really fun. Good luck to Avery and Dan tonight, emceeing our tennis tandem, emceeing the O Show tonight. That's a fun evening for student athletes.
It is a blast, and we get, everything that we talk about on this show throughout the year gets celebrated
all right there.
in 1, 2, 3 hour show together. And kudos to the student athletes who do the bulk of the work in putting this on and executing, and it is a fun way to celebrate what has been a fantastic year.
To reflect on the year, I'm curious, final time you're on, some favorite memories from the year, Rob.
Yeah,
what jumps out
I
this
mean,
year?
again, obviously there's probably a little recency bias, but for me it is just about being a part of this Duck family and, going to the events and seeing the passion. And then no matter the sport, seeing our student athletes that put in all the time be able to enjoy these special moments, whether, it's an on-field or on-court celebration after a big moment, in the locker room with teammates. But, man, it sure is fun to be out in our community, throughout our state, in our venues with so many people who are passionate about the Ducks, who've given so much and care so deeply.
Soccer season's going to be here before we know it. We know it comes quick as we kind of reflect here at this point, but soccer will be the first sport to kick things off, then Oregon volleyball, and then Oregon football. And it sounds like ticket sales are going pretty well.
They're going really well. I mean, there's a few hundred season tickets left, and I would encourage folks, if they have an interest in that, to jump on it because great home slate. We're starting to get some of the kick times, which I'm sure you've shared, which are fantastic. So, it's going to be another great year.
And to that point with kick times, I know you've said nothing moves the needle more than kickoff times and probably football scheduling, and you gave us some updates on that last week.
Yeah.
There's a few things that move around.
There are a few things to move around, and really excited. Obviously we still have some business to take care of in the 25-26 year, but, we're already starting to get a good view of the early part of the 26 football season.
Boise State, Saturday, September 5th. If it's not on your calendar, it is now. I'm getting ready for it. Anything else that fans should know? What are you doing this summer?
Yeah, I'm going to be hanging out at the Springfield Drifters.
There you go.
A lot of Drifters games and
a
lot of West Coast League baseball games. Like I do every summer, I love hanging out. I would encourage everybody, if you haven't been out to Hamlin, to see Ike Olson and Kelly Richardson's team. It is a lot of fun. It's a great place. Great training ground for young broadcasters, too.
That's right.
So I'll be hanging out there a lot, and just really start the planning for 26-27.
All right. There you go. We covered a lot in the span of 29 minutes. Rob, thanks a ton. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody. Good luck.
That's it.
It's been a hell of a run.
And now, see, this is where it really gets interesting. We get the Saul year in review. what's going to be the college year in review.
Oh, like it.
Yeah, that's what's coming up. Also, some news around video games and sports today. You talk about the NIL landscape, how things have changed. We're going to tell you more about that coming up. Rob Mullens, thank you as always.
Thanks, guys. Go Ducks.
All right, we'll get a timeout, come back. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. My thanks to Rob Mullens for joining us. Heading into the summer, certainly there's a lot of headlines that can change around college athletics, and we'll keep track of all of it. But I think it's also important for some of us, myself included, like Rob, this is our last week of Duck Insider. We always schedule it so that it runs right up to baseball postseason, into the track and field postseason, and then we usually take the last few weeks of June and the first few weeks of July off, give ourselves that summer break. This year, including all of our radio broadcasts, our Big Plus broadcasts, for the entire Oregon Athletic Department, by my count, I think we're going to do about 530 broadcasts this year. Wasn't just me. That's people like Saul, Christine, who are from the Quack Video team, and KWVA here in the studio. Alex, Scott, Brandon, Ray. Bravo to our entire team. And if you missed it on the Quack Video social channels, just to give you an idea, Quack Video working closely, obviously, with Saul's crew from KWVA. KWVA providing the talent, Quack Video providing the production team. They put out a great 5-minute feature that we won't have time for on Duck Insider today, but just follow the Quack Video social team. You can see what this means to a lot of these seniors. And that's the group that we work with a lot that makes a lot of these broadcasts occur. And then we get to the end of the year, and we send them all off, and that's what we get to talk to Saul about coming up in a moment. On that note, though, you know, a lot of them were excited a couple years ago when EA Sports said, we're bringing back the college football video game. Well, now, pretty cool to be able to tell you that Dante Moore will be a cover athlete for EA Sports College Football 27. And I think it's safe to say Dante Moore is pretty excited about it.
Dante Moore, quarterback at the University of Oregon. Yeah, this might be one of the biggest things you can ever do, man, as a kid that played the game. Growing up, you knew, of course, the Denard Robinsons, Tim Tebow's. You know, as a kid, you're like, one day I want to be on the cover. So, like, when you get that call, that email to be on the cover, the dream come true.
He's in the game. The old slogan was always, if it's in the game, it's in the game for EA Sports for me growing up. Well, now Joey Harrington and Dante Moore are the two Ducks that have ever graced the college football video game. Used to be NCAA Football 2003. Now, EA Sports College Football 27. So from Joey Harrington to Dante Moore, pretty elite company. And the good news is, for someone like me, that means that this is a company expense when we buy the game for everyone this year, because we've got to put it up on the studio, right? We've got a few copies of when Joey was on the cover, so now with Dante on the cover, this is perfect. This is awesome. Games for everybody. Isn't that great? Congratulations to Dante Moore, though. That's really cool. I mean, you talk about how the landscape shifts, right? What influences fandom over the course of someone's life? Well, for me, growing up, video games were a big part of it. I'm looking at Saul and Christine, like, video games were a part of it. You played sports games growing up, right? For Scott Phillips, who's old, no. He played Pong. And so Scott's a big tennis fan as a result of Pong. All jokes aside, though, one thing I do love, just speaking, and I said this when the game became a reality before, like, having the guys who are in the game, having their dream come true and being compensated for it, that's how it should be. It's a special thing. Really cool to see Dante Moore get that opportunity. Now for Oregon baseball, maybe they'll bring back the college baseball video game someday. Whew. We got 2 years of it, everybody. It was great. 06 and 07. Not that I remember or anything. Saturday at 5 o'clock on ESPN. Sunday at 6 o'clock on ESPN. Oregon versus Texas in Austin. This is one of only 2 super regionals that feature both of the regional hosts advancing. So you've got West Virginia and Cal Poly in Morgantown. The 16 seed came out of the losers bracket to advance. Troy is hosting a super regional. How about that? North Carolina is hosting USC. USC got out of the A&M regional as the 2 seed. Ole Miss advanced. Auburn out of the loser bracket. That was a heck of a thing against Milwaukee. So the 4 seed, but then an unseeded Ole Miss. Kansas, Oklahoma in Lawrence. Oklahoma, not a national seed. St. John's, Alabama. St. John's not a national seed. And then you get Texas and Oregon and Georgia and Mississippi State. Only 2 super regionals feature the national seeds competing against each other. And for all the fans that were asking me, like, hey, well, why is Oregon not playing Friday? Well, some of that is because, as we talked with Rob about, those TV windows for those marquee matchups. Oregon and Texas is a marquee matchup. That is a marquee matchup for college baseball. Huge opportunity for the Ducks. Jim Schlossnagle, now the coach of Texas, was the coach of Texas A&M when the Ducks lost to Texas A&M. Aggies ended up being, 2 years ago, after winning that super regional, they ended up being the national runner-up. Waz said it today. We'll play those interviews for you, getting ready for this series coming up. He said today, look, Jim Schlossnagle is a good coach. Their teams are good. Seems fitting, though, in some ways, that Oregon knocked on the door of Omaha with that run to Texas A&M 2 years ago. Last year had some things go against them in the regional. Didn't get out of Eugene. So there's been some demons the last couple years. One super regional demon in the state of Texas against a Jim Schlossnagle coach team. One regional demon in Eugene. And then even the modern era matchup of the rivalry between Oregon and Oregon State. Well, Mark Wasikowski has won 8 of the last 9 games against Oregon State. And in the Waz era of Oregon baseball, the Ducks have a winning record against the Beavs. So you get by your in-state rival in a regional. You exercise last year's demon in winning the Eugene Regional. Now can you exercise a demon against a Jim Schlossnagle coach team in the state of Texas? There's some poetry to what's going on here for Oregon baseball. There's some steps and hurdles that have been set and now overcome, and maybe an opportunity to overcome and exercise another one of those demons here coming up. Ryan Milano and I will be making the trek. We'll have the call for you starting on Saturday at 4:45, our pregame show across the Oregon Sports Network. 5:45, our pregame show on Sunday. Not even planning for a broadcast Monday. If there is one, though, we'll have it for you at a time to be determined. When we come back, let's go down memory lane. Upcoming college graduation. Our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire of the last 2 years, Saul Galvan's in the hot seat on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're in the Country Financial Studio. You've heard his voice for 2 years on Oregon softball. You've heard him on Big Plus calls. He's been running KWVA, the assistant sports director last year, our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire, the sports director at KWVA this year, our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire. That, by the way, might be the most creative and interesting title you will ever hold in your career.
When Nate Uretsky told me what it is, I'm like, wow, can I even put this on LinkedIn? Is this a position that someone can hold? And honestly, when I went to go put it in my LinkedIn bio, it was the first thing that came up. And I'm like, wow.
It auto-populated?
It auto-populated.
Oh,
I put in broadcast intern, and then extraordinaire came up as a second option. I'm like, wow. This is incredible.
We have broken the LinkedIn algorithm. I am all in. I did not know that.
I probably because of him too, because he also had in his bio. So maybe it generated from his.
Did Ryan ever put that in his? He was it once upon a time.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Knight was the one who said, "Hey, if you want to put this in your bio, just make sure you put the extraordinaire after it."
We got to ask Austin Oda. I don't know if he puts it on his bio either. Look, the point that I'm making is we obviously take a lot of pride on this program. In this program, right? Just with how awesome our student broadcasters are. And Saul has been a huge, huge part of it. I don't think I'm breaking news to anyone, but also in another life, Saul is graduating from the University of Oregon. Bravo. Bravo. Don't fail any classes the next week.
I was going to say, we still have a week in finals week left.
Okay, still have a week left.
I'd make sure, yeah.
But I also would like to share with everyone, if I could, that on that side, Saul was just informed yesterday that he has been awarded our most distinguished graduate of the broadcast and digital track within the journalism school. Congratulations. Thank you. So it's not just the sports side. of Saul. And I just want to say congrats and, well, thanks for doing it for 2 years, buddy. How's it feel?
2 years, wow. When you said 2 years, I'm like, wait, 2 years? Really? It feels like it's been 15.
Oh.
I wonder, is that how you feel?
Rob said that it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's about right. I don't know.
It was awesome.
Well, let me read something to you. Cindy on Facebook just said, we'll miss Saul calling softball. Good luck. Once a duck, always a duck. Darn right.
Oh, absolutely. I will never forget this place and everything that I've been able to do the last 4 years. I mean, obviously, it's not going anywhere. I'm sure I'll be back at some point, whether it's
once a duck, always a duck.
Once a duck, always a duck. But yeah, these last 4 years, especially the last 2, and just getting to be a part of everything here in the athletic department with the Oregon teams, the Oregon sporting events. I mean, it's really been just such a fun experience for me.
Well, we are incredibly proud of our internship within the Oregon Sports Network, Quack Video, the connection to KWVA. We in the athletic department are very, very proud of it. And now I get to put you on the spot as the voluntold representative for the entire group. What's the experience been like?
It's been amazing. It's funny because I remember when I came in here, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work in sports in some capacity, but wasn't sure if broadcasting was really for me. I did it a little bit in high school, but I thought, hey, maybe this isn't something that I can do for a career. And I came to Oregon, honestly, not doing any research. I think I came here before I even took a visit, so it's
they always say
I took a really big
campus,
risk. Yeah, I took a really big risk coming here, but I remember I showed up on campus and I said, hey, I want to work in sports media or see what it's about. What do I do? And one of the first things that they said is go join KWVA Sports, go join the student radio station. And I did it. I went to my first meeting with Ryan Milano, Austin Oda, and Nat Uretsky as our directors at the time. And, they said, hey, if you want to do anything in sports media, this is the place to be. And it was a little bit smaller back then. We only had about 10 to 15 people that were doing pretty much everything, and now we've grown it to about a 50-person staff with a 7-person leadership team, and that's just a credit to everybody who's been involved with it, not just currently, but the people who have come before, and I know the people who are going to come after it as well. It really is this cool environment of everybody, collectively as a team doing the same thing, and that you don't get that often, right? You don't get that from maybe some other fields where everything is so competitive, but also everyone wants to make each other better. And I think that's really the environment that we've kind of fostered over the past couple of years is we all want to work in sports. We know how fun this is. We know it's not a normal job whatsoever, but that's what makes it fun, is that we all get to do this together. We all get to make each other a little bit better. So that's been the best thing for me that I've taken away from it the last 4 years.
I've been told that I have not used one of my phrases that I often say both on and off the air enough this year. And so what you just said, it takes a village.
It does take a village. You haven't said that one a lot. You actually haven't even said sports are fun that much either.
Okay. So then I need to get back to some of my core statements. So the running joke for those that have not heard this is that apparently I have a couple isms. We all get there in our lives. Mm-hmm. I'm there. I have one that I can't say on the air, but it takes a village. And then we have also, of course, sports are fun. Like, we're supposed to remember that sports are fun. I often talk about rising tides, rise all boats. And I want to say this meaningfully, like your group, you have been the embodiment of everything that those things mean.
It means so much, honestly. And again, like, it means a lot to us, right, to get the accolades. Like you were talking about the broadcast award. Like it really means a lot to me. I never take that lightly. I know it's a lot of hard work, but I think, the comment that Cindy made, that's more of what I take to heart, right? I care about what the fans think. I care about what you guys think, obviously, what Rob thinks. And whenever you guys say, hey, you guys do a good job, you guys are doing amazing work, like that's really more of what we look for, because that's the job, right? We're not doing this for the awards. We're doing this because, we're serving people that, are listening to the games that, maybe can't attend their son or daughter's games, that are not able to get to that. And it's our job really to, make them care, essentially, to not have them turn off the channel. And, if we can do that in a meaningful and positive way, then we'd have done our job. And I think everybody who has been a part of KWVA, who's been a part of here of the Oregon Sports Network, Quack Video, I think they've done that in a lot of really good ways. So it's been a lot of fun. Like I think you said 2 years, but it really has felt like more with just the amount of work that we've been able to do just over these past couple of years, even 4 years in total.
Well, and there's a lot of people that care. And fans, we know that you're a big part of it. And I just hope to shine a light as much as we can on the amount of work that our great students, because we know, like, some of you aren't going to go do this professionally, right? And this may be kind of the fun part of your life and your career. But that said, these people really care. about what happens on the air. And I should also point out, like, one thing I probably have not said enough is Saul has sat with Scott and sat in the studio and has been in the studio more than maybe anyone out there realizes. And I hope that that's been fun for you.
It's been fun. I think that's the cool thing, right, is that there's so many jobs, right, that you can do in sports. It's not just in front of the camera. Like, I want to be in front of the camera, but, I mean, you're the one who tells me all the time, go do something else that's not in front of the camera. And it's honestly made me a better, and I think it's made all of us better, right? It's just one of those things that you have to be versatile for, and it really makes you a better person to work with, and then obviously someone who is multi-skilled in pretty much everything that they do, and just be able to work with amazing people. Because, again, just because we work in broadcasting, that doesn't mean we don't work with everybody else in marketing and the athletic directors. Like, it really is a team at the end of the day, and I think that's the cool thing is, whatever's on the field, the court, whatever that is, it's a team that's behind the scenes that making it all happen on there.
Saul Galvan, our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire. I just got an email this morning. So, Olivia, if you're tuned in, I got an email this morning from an incoming freshman. Now's your chance to give advice to the incoming freshman. What do you tell 18-year-old you? What do you tell the new 18-year-old that's coming into the University of Oregon? How do they enjoy their time?
You're really putting me on the spot here, aren't you? This is live too. This is not recorded like we usually do. So.
That's right.
Just do everything, right? I think that was something that I was told early on. Just get involved in everything. I mentioned before that I wanted to be in front of the camera. I was like, you know what? I never want to be Scott. Respectfully, Scott, I love you. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do what he does. I want to be where you're at. But honestly, like, getting pushed into that chair, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool, and I'm still making an impact, and it really is important. So I think that's been the biggest thing is just, being able to do as much as possible, never saying no to an opportunity. I've been asked to do some things that I'm like, wow, 2-3 years ago, I would have said no in a heartbeat, and now I'm just like, you know what, it's an opportunity. Let me do it. That's been the biggest thing, just do what you can because you never know when it's going to pay off, when someone's watching or when someone's listening and says, hey, I really liked you on that. I want you to go and work for me, or maybe I have another opportunity for you available that is more tailored to what you want to do. So really just say yes to everything because, you just never know what it's going to lead to.
Favorite memories?
As a broadcaster or just as a –
I don't know. It's an open question. You got 60 seconds.
60 seconds? Okay, wow. Probably softball, 2 years. I mean, I just can't thank Coach Lombardi and her staff enough for letting me be a part of that program and call the team. That was an unbelievable 2 years. Obviously, like you were saying, Rob, it wasn't the way the season wanted to end, unfortunately. But, I think that these 2 years were really stepping stones for where that program is going, and they have the expectation now of Oklahoma every single year, and that says a lot about the team. Dez's walk-off, obviously, last year in the regional. I mean, that was probably one of my peaks, not just as a broadcaster, but as a Duck fan. Oregon playing at Penn State, obviously the Ohio State game was cool 2 years ago, but going to Penn State in a whiteout and Thieneman getting the interception to seal it, I mean, that was pretty special. So I have so many, honestly, that I can go days, on and on for. But, I mean, that was just the reality of the 4 years is there was so much that happens. And it really speaks to the volume of what Oregon is. They're competitive. They like to compete, and they go out and win. So it was a lot of fun to be a part of that, both as a student and as a broadcaster.
Once a Duck, always a Duck. Whatever's next, you're a Duck. And I'm proud to call you a colleague.
Appreciate it, Joey.
Thank you, Saul. Saul Galvan, our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire. Wishing you the best, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the next few weeks. Don't fail any classes.
We'll see.
We're coming back after this, getting you ready for baseball super regionals on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. So Oregon baseball getting set to hit the road. Ducks traveling this week to Austin, Texas. Saturday, 5 o'clock, game 1. Game 2, Sunday, 6 o'clock. Both televised on ESPN. And we've got the broadcast for you here from the hometown crew on the Oregon Sports Network. Myself and Ryan Milano will be making the trip. And then an if necessary game will take place on Monday. Here's hoping the Ducks can take care of business in that Super Regional and punch that ticket back to Omaha. Remember, Oregon's now been in that ballpark. They're familiar with the operation because the Big Ten tournament is hosted there. Ducks had some success there this year, and I do think that matters. I actually had Rob Mullens on the broadcast when Oregon was playing in that Big Ten tournament, and I asked that. He said, no, I do think that's an advantage. Might help the Ducks. They've been to that field in Omaha before. My thanks to Rob Mullens, and my thanks to Saul Galvan. Saul will not fail any classes. Our OSN broadcast intern extraordinaire graduating along with the rest of our team. Another senior class. This is our final week of Duck Insider. I'll be back here tomorrow. Jerry and Chris are going to help us out the rest of the way as we look back at the year that was and get ready for some more postseason baseball. See you for Duck Insider tomorrow.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please